first.
Hi guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Ryan.
Dave.
Ted. Nate.
So today, we're going to tell you about our characters. No, we really are. We're going to talk about, we're going to do a 5e game to kind of, showcase what 5th edition's all about. And we all came up with some character concepts, and Ted's going to be our illustrious GM on this game. So with that, I'll leave us to whoever wants to talk about their character first.
I'll go first.
Have it, Nate. Hit us.
Okay, so I picked High Elf because elves are sweet. In 5e,
they taste delicious.
they're fantastic. High Elves are even more fantastic because they get things like a cantrip, which I have not selected yet. I'm still reading the magic section, so
They get a cantrip, they get an extra language,
Yes.
they get the bump to intelligence,
Yes.
they get all the cool, weapon proficiencies.
Oh yeah, this long sword, short sword, long bow, short bow, all good stuff. And I'm drawing a blank on anything. I think that's it.
So it's like, before you even have a character class as an elf, you can kind of do a lot of shit. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I can kind of be a wizard. I can kind of be a wizard's apprentice. I can kind of sort of be a fighter's apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get a class now. Let me do something
Yeah.
else.
You could take High Elf, take a background and a class, and pretty much cover the basis for all the different 4 classes that are out there.
Yeah, so I'm glad it was I picked my character creation concept last. Everyone else had theirs finished. So I'm glad it was left because I would have been kind of bummed. I kind of want to play an elf character. So it's good that that was there. So High Elf, you get the +1 intelligence, the +2 to dex, which is a standard elf thing. You get all the sleep and other magic charm.
Resistance-y.
And
they can see in the dark now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see in the dark.
They have changed it looks like they've taken low light completely away, and now it's just you can see in normal and dark.
Well, that actually harkens back to 2E.
Infravision.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
infravision.
Yeah.
So there's that about the High Elf, and then though I don't know exactly everything that comes in Noble, since we investigated it in the last
By
thing that we talked
combing
about.
over the starter set character sheet, is we basically sleuthed our way through that.
Yeah, whatever is not fighter and not human must be noble. So
Therefore.
so I picked a noble. I'm going to be an up jump merchant noble, a 7th son. So I'm kind of in this trying to prove myself as a mercantile elf, but also I also have my my other part of my character background, my actual class, which is going to include which is cleric. But I'm not going to be a cleric like raised as an acolyte up to being a major cleric. I'm more like I got stuck with this fate or some kind of situation. Well, I'm not gonna go into the entire background, but the idea being that I am
You kind of stumbled upon it.
It's kind of been shoved onto me, and that is
He's an unwilling clear.
This
Yeah.
is what happened. His elf is running through the forest all over the place with this beam of light, trying to shine on him, and he keeps ducking out of the way until he finally
Yeah.
trips over a root on a tree,
So,
and he gets hit with the cleric light.
so I'm not obnoxiously unwilling, but I do kind of have this. Being a 7th son, I'm kind of like we don't really expect much out of you. And I also have that mentality as being a spiritual person as well. I don't feel like a spiritual leader, so I'm kind of reluctantly saying like, yeah, I got these powers.
I can do this stuff. So
I don't know why they chose me, but I'm here.
Nice.
So he's going to use that and blend that in with his family mission of expanding their mercantile empire in a clericy way, not ripping people off or lying, but and I'm picking life domain
because it's the only option.
It was a hard choice, but
Between the life domain and wait for it, the life domain.
Yeah. So between life domain and life domain, I chose life domain, and as I was reading it, I was annoyed that there was only one there. But as I was reading life domain, I was like, I might pick this over whatever else comes out. I mean, you get access to heavy armor, which is just makes like the uber cleric and the plate mail with the mace and the shield, and you get all these extra benefits and bonus spell access, which is fantastic. And I think you can heal better.
Right.
I don't remember the exact numerical thing, but I think
they get a bonus.
They get a bonus, so they heal even better. So they're actually like uber cleric, and they get the heavy armor access, and and the bonus access for
They're
spells.
like the cleric's cleric.
Yes, exactly. So it's pretty much the archetypal cleric right there. So It was an easy choice to make, being it was not
The
really
only
a choice at all.
So just, you know, putting it out there, you know, my plan is with the actual campaign is once we actually get access to the PHB, I'm going to allow for some tweaking so that, you know, you guys don't feel like, oh, well, this is really
awesome
sweet,
thing.
but, you know, I didn't have access to it. So, I mean, if you find something better than the life domain, you know, we can say, okay, well,
Like the
let's, you know,
necromancy domain.
Yeah, the anti-life. That's right. Slay.
I do have a special place in my heart for necromancy.
you know.
So, you know, my character, Uthangar of the Iron Glyph clan, is a mountain dwarf who's trained as a wizard but has served as a soldier. And my plan very much is for him to be on the front line swinging his axe and hitting things in the head. You know, and maybe once in a while I'll throw a spell out there because I can. I gotta say, when I created this character, I created a character in this edition I have not been able to do in any other edition of the game ever. You know,
That's the melee wizard.
I made the Gish at first level. It's not been done. I wear medium armor. I fight with martial weapons. I only have 9 hit points, but it's not that far behind the fighter.
You know, a fighter of the same level is only going to have 3 hit points higher.
So
you know, it's
yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. It came out well, and you know, I can't wait to see what spells I'm going to have access to when the PHB comes out, so I can really do that melee wizard.
right.
You know, it really opened up some things, and I can just tell this is going to be a fun character to play. You know, I have him, you know, as a soldier, so he was a quartermaster because I figured, you know, he's intelligent, so he's a numbers guy as it was, and you know, I'm a wizard, so my dump stat is my charisma. So with that, I figured, well, he can't have high rank because the soldiers are going to want to stab him in his back with an 8 charisma, I'm thinking. So I'm like, well, the quartermaster, you know, he handles the supplies. Even if you don't like that guy, you don't F with him because you want to get paid and you want to get your rations.
That's right.
You know, so.
You want to make sure your gear's taken care of too.
And you want to make sure your gear's taken care of. So, you know, first level mountain dwarf, wizard, soldier background. It's one of the most badass things that I've seen in D&D in a long time.
As a first level character, especially.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm pretty stoked about playing this character. And I'm playing him as a hard-nosed dwarf. You know, he's going to be, you know, dwarven supremacist, basically, like all good dwarves should be. And, you know, dwarves, you know, they don't have anything against other people. It's just that dwarves do stuff better. Yeah, it's not their fault. They're humans and halflings and elves or whatever. They can't help it.
Well, everybody else is here, and you guys are in the mountain.
Yeah,
you know,
we just do our thing. You know, dwarves are really cool because, like I said, the mountain dwarf gets proficiency with, you know, light armor, medium armor, axes, hammers, and they're the only race to get two +2s.
Yeah, if you go mountain dwarf, it's +2 strength, +2 con.
At first, we thought it was like a misprint, right? Because
Yeah.
no one else got that.
Right.
But then when you look at their other benefit of armor proficiency, if you play them as an optimized class, it's not actually really a benefit.
Because your armor and your weapons you're getting anyway in fighter.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
in the starter set anyway, the only thing it changes is if you play a wizard or if you play a rogue, and I'm definitely playing well against type on this one. I mean, I have a 15 strength, a 16 con, and a 14 intelligence. So it was kind of beefy for a wizard. What are you going to do? Cast a spell? I'm going to beat the shit out of you with a spell book. That's the kind of wizard I am.
that expensive spell book.
Yeah.
That you had to.
Well,
actually,
yeah. Okay. So here's the other side of it, right? You get to, you know, you get kitted out as far as your equipment with your background and your class, which is good, and you make out pretty well with it, and you can pretty much do what you want to do.
Well, almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Well, in my case, I wanted a suit of armor, and I couldn't get it. So I took the optional rule of rolling my money. So I got the stuff that I wanted, barely. And I don't have much else. He's pretty dirt poor. But I don't care because I got a hand axe, I got a battle axe, I got a spell book, I got a suit of armor, You know, I got like 2 days rations
And a lamp, and I got a lamp.
And a lamp. Well, no, I don't need a lamp. I got dark vision.
Well,
I got a whetstone to sharpen it.
Quoting the jerk, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, so there's definitely some interesting combinations you can do in this game, and I'm excited to play this character.
How about you, Ryan? You done up?
Yeah. So I got my character's pretty well done. I went with the Halfling Rogue with the criminal background because everything just lines up very well for the Halfling, especially the Lightfoot subrace. So they get their bonuses to +2 to Dex, +1 to Charisma. And they can also hide behind, so they use stealth whenever they're behind a medium or larger creature. So that means you're going to pretty much get a sneak attack off every single round as long as you have somebody that you can snipe from behind and then break line of sight.
So every round you're pretty much just going to use your, what was it, bonus action or whatever Rogue calls it to
no, I mean, yeah, I think the Halfling gets a chance to hide, like, just if they happen to be behind a medium or larger creature. I'll have to look at that again. But there is that second level thing, I think, the rogue lets you use hiding as a bonus action too. So I'll have to look at the two things.
I mean, I know it's possible. I just thought, you know, the weird breakdown of actions in combat is pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, really, it's just like you can move, you can attack, and sometimes you get a bonus action depending on your class for the most part.
Or if you have an extra item in your offhand, or there's special rules for it.
Yeah,
but just being able to just step behind, your friend here, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna look at that, he magically just vanished.
Well, I mean, what it is like it's not your vanished. They just can't clearly determine where you're gonna go.
Right. Yeah, you're so tiny, you slip behind somebody that's way bigger than you.
Yeah,
they don't see anymore. You could double back or go the other way. And
so, I mean, if you've seen any of our other videos, especially the ones where we talk about our favorite classes, Rogue is always my favorite, and I wanted to give a test drive in this edition. So I made a character who his primary stats are in dexterity and charisma, 216s rocking out.
Nice.
In deference of having like a super stat, I just have 2 really nice stats, and his whole idea is like basically coming across as unassuming as possible. Like he's super gregarious. Like think of like an older, like middle-aged Italian uncle or whatever. So like like
I'm gonna be super friendly. I'm gonna be in your face. Yeah. Maybe a little too huggy.
A little too touchy, whatever. He's also, I have it in his background, just like role-playing wise, that his family were tailors, so he knows the profession of being a tailor, and so he can admire like the hem of somebody's garment or whatever, while also picking their pockets. Because I maxed out sleight of hand and deception, so he's totally about bluffing people and taking their possessions and making off with them.
Those are your premier skills that you get to double.
My expertise, there's a rogue thing called expertise that you get to double up on 2 proficiency bonuses. So I took deception and sleight of hand for that. Figure you first disarm them with your personality, then you get close, you pocket some of their possessions. They're happy for having known you until an hour later when they realize their ring, their brooch, and their pouch is gone.
And their underpants.
And their underpants. That's right.
So you stole it.
So the other thing about this character is like the idea is like he doesn't want to come across like he can do anything. So like he might hold like a crossbow or something, but you're afraid he's going to shoot himself, like shoot his eye out or something with it. And he doesn't carry any visible weapons because he's going to basically have daggers secreted about his person, and he's going to do 2 weapon fighting, like just like wrist sheaths, whatever, toss them real quick. But yeah, the whole idea is for as long as possible to have the party to believe that he's like an ineffectual tit. So I'll see how long I can pull that off.
I thought I heard you mention something about Happy Hobbit.
Well, basically, yeah, coming across like like basically when you're reading Bilbo Baggins, or like him in the first movie, like I'm gonna blatantly lift some Bilbo quotes. And it's all persona, like it's all part of his charade.
It's a facade.
It is a facade, like the outside of a building. So so that's a guy. He's going to wear like ridiculous costume, like very like pompy with like big hat with the feather coming off the back. And then like big puffy sleeves. Oh, and he makes himself look way fatter than he actually is because he's like, so this way he's like this frumpy hobbit that you would never suspect anything from.
Because you're wearing the armor underneath.
Oh yeah, I wear my leather armor is under my clothes, so this way it adds to his bulk. He's going to kind of slump down when he walks.
So he's even shorter.
Yeah, he'll kind of have like a Samwise Gamgee look to him. Yeah.
He's gonna waddle.
Yeah. Well, you know, he can act, so yeah, he'll waddle. Yeah. So, yeah. So for my criminal background, instead of taking a gaming set, I gave him the proficiency in disguise kit, because I figure, you know, there's some cons he's going to want to pull off eventually, and so getting a disguise kit will be a priority at some point.
That's definitely a good call.
Yeah, so that's my guy, more or less.
Well, it sounds like we got some you know, real diverse and interesting characters. I know for those of you who are gonna wind up watching the video in the future, you know, we do have some other players joining us, and I look forward to seeing what they come up with to really flesh out this campaign. You know, I'm going to kind of leave it open-ended as far as an actual campaign setting, just so that, you know, we can actually see what the actual 5th edition book, you know, suggests or uses, so that we don't have any overarching flavors disrupting what's actually in the book.
Dude, my thought is they're going to keep it super generic, as in the basic stuff, because you know, like the rule set, I feel like they're going to give you like deities from that have existed, like in, you know, in the
they're
real
going to
world,
reference all the different campaigns.
Yeah, different campaign setting deities. I think it's going to be pretty big, like, sandbox to play in. Yeah.
So I mean, it'll give everybody, you know, plenty of stuff to work with. But you know, so like I said, I'm you know, you guys talk about you're excited to have the, you know, play the characters, and I'm excited to, you know, finally run a D&D game. And for me, it's been quite a long time, so it'll be interesting to dust those skills off.
Yeah, well, and you'll be on the same footing with all of us. We're learning a new rule set,
right.
So it won't be like trying to unearth, you know.
Well, for me, it's you know, the rules are great. I mean, you know, my thing is always about the story. So I'm hoping that we all like it.
Yep, we'll be on a noble quest.
So
with that, remember to like, subscribe, comment. Hey, you know, tell us about your 5th edition characters in the comments below. We'd love to hear about them. And after you're done doing that, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest.
Nerdarchy.com, perhaps.
Nerdarchy.com. And with that, until next time, stay
nerdy,
nerdy,
my friends.